Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners, and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So you are here on a Monday, and once a month I am aiming to come on and show you a make that I have been making from my extensive magazine collection. Now, did I make that one of my 24 goals for 2024? Let me just have a look and see. It is. It was when I went through my 24 goals for 2024, I did say I may start a new segment on the channel called Magazine Makes. So here we are, we're doing it, which is amazing. So if you have been here a while, you will know that I actually did Magazine Mondays, which is where I came on roughly once a week and showed you one of the magazines that I have in my stash upstairs. I did have a couple of subscriptions, but I have decided not to continue, and I have so many of them, but I had never yet made anything from these magazines. So I wanted to rectify that. What's the point in having a wonderful resource of patterns if you're not going to use them, right? So the magazines that I am using are the Simply Crochet magazines. Now, I am not sponsored or affiliated. They don't know who I am. They don't know that I've ever featured them on my channel, which is absolutely fine. But it is a UK publication, guys. So all the patterns contained within Simply Crochet are written in UK terms. This means that because I prefer US terms, I do have to translate, which is absolutely fine. There are handy dandy conversion charts in the back of every book. And if you want to see the magazines that I have in my stash, I will link that playlist down below. But this is where I am actually selecting patterns from these magazines to make and show you. So if you saw the first episode last month, you will know that I decided to make this cowl here. And it's called the ombre cowl because they used ombre yarn. Now, I chose not to use ombre yarn. I just grabbed yarn out of my stash. So this will also go towards my stash down, hashtag stash down 2024 and stash before cash. And I did show you the progress I had made on that first episode. And I told you that I would be coming back to show you the finished item and what I have decided to make for my next magazine make. So what yarn did I choose? I chose the Twister Solid from Hobie. There it is. It is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. My camera is not wanting to focus at all. There we go. They are 100 gram cakes or 3.5 ounces, 400 meters or 437 yards. They recommend a 3 to 4 millimeter knitting needle or a 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook. It is a fine weight number 2 or a sport weight. Wash up to 40 degrees Celsius. You can low iron. Do not tumble, do not bleach. You can dry clean using pea and lay flat to dry. Made with love in Turkey. This is colour 135. Yeah, and I used pretty much the whole cake. The only little bit I have left is this little bit. Now, the cowl that I made, I did all of the rows, but when I was on that final neatening up row, I was probably about 12 stitches away to completion, so I lost yarn chicken. So what I decided to do was to pull that out and pull out one of the rows of the section before, and then just omit that last row and put the final finishing off row on. So I have this tiny little smidgy bit left, which is nothing at all, and it now means that because this isn't enough to be used in anything, I can claim this yarn band because I collect my yarn bands all year long, and I do a video at the end of the year asking you to guess how many yarn bands I have gone through, do a little giveaway with it, but also to tell you how much yardage I've used in the year, how many skeins and cakes and donuts and whatever I've used in the year. And yes, I have another one to add, which is fantastic. So I showed you my progress last time up to that stitch marker, so I had made a pretty good dent in the pattern. As you can see, there are shells at the top. There is this section here which I managed to complete, and then I was on the cross stitch section, but I still had that section to complete, which I did. Then we moved on to V stitches. Is that the V stitch? Let me just double check. No, they are like granny clusters, my apologies. And then the final section was V stitches. So like I said, I did have to do one less row of the V stitch in order for me to put that single crochet end row on, just to neaten it up. But it is a really decently long cowl, guys. The colour of this isn't exactly accurate. It is more pinky than what it is showing on camera. But I just love the way that those sections are really well defined as you go through the piece itself. Now, because it has lovely drape, there is plenty of cotton content within this. It is going to be lightweight and airy for spring summer, which is why I chose to do this project. And as you can see where that stitch marker is, I have done the same amount of progress, if not a little bit more. Now I will model it for you, but bear in mind it is not going to go with the hoodie I currently have on. But let's go for it. So here we go, guys, and obviously ignore the stitch marker. I'm going to be taking that out after this video. But it is nice, light, airy and drapey. It has enough different stitches to create some interest when it is on as well. Now obviously some of it gets lost because it kind of bunches and ruches up, but it was a really nice fun make. I really enjoyed it, and the biggest benefit is that it is not too tight against my neck. I really don't like things being too, you know, up against my neck. I feel like I'm choking and I feel claustrophobic, but you can play around with how you want it to lie. It will go with most outfits. I wear a lot of blue jeans, and you know, it will even go underneath a coat if it's slightly chillier. And even though I made it for spring summer in mind, I do actually think that it would serve a purpose all year round, because it's just that extra layer of warmth up top, and then if I had my coat over it as well, it's just another layer of warmth against my skin in those chillier days. So yes, I am super pleased with it. Absolutely love it. It's a really nice size, really nice fit, lovely drape, great stitch definition. It was the first time that I had used the Twister Solid, and I would highly recommend. It is a lovely yarn to use. No splitting, no nothing. It is a really lovely two-weight, as you can see here. And it is twisted and wound really nice and tight, which is another reason why I didn't think it split. Yeah, it's just a dream. It's lovely and soft. There would be absolutely zero irritation, and again, the fact that it can breathe is another pro point for me. That's why I picked this yarn, and I think it lends itself well to this pattern. So I now have a really lovely cowl to add to my wardrobe, and that stitch definition is just gorgeous, guys. I absolutely love it. Isn't it so pretty? Now, is that the join line that you can see? Yes. So as you can see in this pattern, you can see the join line a little bit, but just spin that around to the back and then you won't have that issue at all. I absolutely love it. Really lovely, easy pattern to do. Nice variety of stitches to stop it from becoming tedious or a little bit boring, because none of us enjoy that. Lovely accessory to add to my own personal wardrobe, and another yarn band for my collection for the year, and another piece that I can add to Stash Down 2024. So it ticks all the boxes for me, guys. I really did enjoy that make. Now, because I have now finished that make, I then had to decide what I'm going to be making next. And the next project is slightly bigger than the cowl. I am actually going to attempt to make a sweater, because I want more sweaters in my wardrobe, and again, that is another of my 24 goals for 2024. I will again be using stash yarn. I have a couple in my mind that I'm playing around with. I don't quite know which way I'm going to go, so you'll have to tune in to next month's magazine makes to know what yarn I picked, how I'm getting on, what progress I've made, and all of that. But first, let me show you the sweater that I have that I have decided on. Again, it's an ombre jumper, but I am not going to do ombre. So they say block party, and it says sink into a reef of corals with Fran Morgan's colour block jumper. I am not going to do that colour block, guys. I am going to do just one. So whether it's a variegated, it's all going to be that variegated. Whether it's a solid or a tonal, it's all going to be the same. But I am going to have a lovely jumper. We call it a jumper here, a sweater at the end of it. And if I show you up close, it looks to be made of V stitches. So it's going to be quite a nice, simple make to do. And I will have the bonus of having another sweater in my wardrobe. And it's going to be another of my 24 goals for 2024, and by using stash yarn, it is again going to go towards Stash Down 2024 as well, and get some of my beautiful stash actually stitched up into something lovely for me to wear. So there we have it. That is the plans for the next project. I wanted something that ticks all the boxes but also isn't too complex. So having a V-stitch sweater means that I should be able to cope with making this pretty well. So that's the plans for next time, guys. It will be exciting to see which yarn I do decide on using. And I haven't done many sweaters, so it will be intriguing to know how this sweater is made up. And again, because it's a UK pattern, I am going to have to translate, but that's absolutely fine. There is the conversion chart, after all, in the back of the magazine to help me. So, cowl done, sweater next. So let me know down below, did you like how the cowl turned out? Have you ever used Twister Solid? Do you like it? Have you made many wearables? If so, what have you made? Any suggestions for what yarn I should use? They do recommend 4-weight, and I do have some 4-weights in my stash, and I am deciding between either the Premier Basics Mosaic, or if it's the right yarn weight, and I'm not sure that it is, the Hobie Portobello, but I've got a horrible feeling that the Portobello is in fact a 3-weight, but I'm going to have to dig it out and see whether or not I can use it. If not, it's going to be a beautiful variegated V-stitch in the Premier Basics Mosaic, but you'll have to come back next month to find out. There we go, I finally made something from my magazines, woohoo! And I will be continuing to do this for the rest of the year to come, and I really love that it is ticking off some of my goals for the year, and getting rid of some of, well, not getting rid, but using up some of my beautiful stash that deserves to be made into pretty things rather than, you know, just sitting looking pretty. I can actually wear it in this case. So guys, I am going to let you get going. Let me check my planner to see what is coming up for you tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow it will be my stash down statistics video for February. So just in time, I have managed to get another finished item to weigh and put into my statistics. So how wonderfully planned was that? So yeah, come back tomorrow to see how much of my stash I have whittled down this month. There is a previous video with stash down statistics from back in January. Yeah, so that is what you can look forward to tomorrow. But thanks for your time today. I'm going to let you get going. So until I see you tomorrow, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye guys, love you loads.